everybody? Alice with you here, bringing you Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaibe, Episode 5, titled My Own Steel. This was a very good episode. Again, another banger. Very emotional. There was a couple of funny parts, but it was more of an emotional episode than it was a battle episode. It starts off with a flashback of a kid eating a whole bunch of people who's demon possessed, and then we see Uraraka there, and we find out that this demon kid that he captured was actually the same one that Tanjiro just fought and beheaded, and he was getting that flashback before his death. And when he looked at the kid Tanjiro, he didn't see Tanjiro, he saw his teacher there, and he was like, Uraraka, that's you. And he died. And as you see one of my in my thumbnail, one of the pics, we see him crying and he's thinking about his past. And he was a lovable kid, a good kid, but bad tragedy just struck him and he got unlucky and he became demonized. And he started just doing things, the demons would do. And he started thinking about his brother again when he got his mind back, and he was like, where's my brother? Where are you? And he started to cry. And Tanjiro was like, you have a very sad smell. And the only thing that's left of his body that hasn't decayed yet, but is still decaying, is his arm that's on the floor sticking up like this. And the head, which is we see crying. And Tanjiro went up to the his hand and he grabbed it. And the arm squeezed, but not like a tight squeeze, but like, a hold on type of squeeze. And he started to pray that God, when this kid gets reborn, please may he become a human in a good family and have a good life and not a demon. And then he disappeared, and we see Tanjiro later on fighting more demons, and he's trying to ask some questions about, how do you guys turn back to humans, if there's a way possible. But unlike the demon that he was fighting with all the hands, these were just crazy people, and they wasn't answering his questions, and they were just going for the kill. So he had to defend himself and kill them first. And then we get a couple of hours pass, and we find out that in the end he passed. But here's the thing, he passed, but when he got there he realized there was only I believe 4 of them, 4 or 5 people. It was the chick that we see in the opening that's always playing with like animals or butterflies. There's a kid with the blonde hair who we know he's gonna become friends with, Tanjiro himself, and the kid that always looked angry with the scar. And I believe that there was or maybe there was another person, but the point is there was only 4 or 5 people there, and Tanjiro stated that there was over 20. What happened to the rest? They didn't say what happened when he answered the question, but we could assume that they most likely all died, which means more than 90% of the kids died, and that was like, wow. We also get this sweet moment as well with when he see all the spirits of the kids that this demon killed, and they all left. That was a really cute panel, emotional panel, which we get to see that before he actually winds up to the finish line. But when he gets there and he passed, the 2 little demon girls, or whatever they are, came up and they were like, you're passed, congratulations. You're going to be issued your uniform today. And the kid with the scar on his face got real upset, and he was like, how about our blades? I want my orbs. I want my sword. And they was like, you have to wait. It takes some days. And he got upset. And then they continue to talk about that there's 10 different rankings in the system, and right now you're going to start off as the lowest rank, but as y'all do more missions and get more medals and improvement, you'll go up and stuff. And the kid that's with the scar on his face is already upset, so him getting this explanation is really getting him more upset. And he grabs the chick with the white hair, because there's 2 twins, one with white hair and one with black hair. He grabs the one with the white hair and he starts pulling her hair, saying, look, I just want my orb for my sword, that's all I want. Hurry up and give it to me. And Tanjiro did something that he got my respect, and I'm happy because we don't see this a lot. And a lot of Shaolin, this is from Shaolin Jump, and we don't see this in a lot of male characters from Shaolin Jump, because they always start off as naive, innocent kids, and they're just kids, but there are a couple of people like Ichigo from Bleach, or Yu Yu Hakusho, main character, Urameshi, that they have no problem throwing hands. So he grabbed the kid by the hand and he was like, let her go, or I'm going to break your hand. And I was like, whoa, did he really just say that? And the guy was like joking, and he thought, Tanjiro wasn't going to do nothing. And he's like, I'd like to see you try. So Tanjiro, being Tanjiro, breathed in once and squeezed, and we actually heard a crack, and the guy put his arm back, and he jumped back, and he started looking at his arm, and dude was like, he went from like being like super upset to being like super shocked, cause I don't think he was expecting Tanjiro to actually go through with it. So, and I thought they were gonna fight, but it seems like after Tanjiro did that to him, he decided to calm down and chill. So, luckily for him. But we get to see what he wanted, and it's these orbs that they didn't really explain it well here. I'm not sure. I'm gonna read the manga. Maybe the manga explained it more, or maybe they're gonna explain it later on. But basically, these orbs they're supposed to pick is supposed to be forged in their swords. So, but no, none of them had an idea of how they're gonna pick their orbs for their sword. Is it a right or wrong answer, or can we just pick any? Does it really matter? They decided, what to do and how to pick. And Tanjiro just decided to go with his instincts, and he decided to go with his smell. And he picked one. But the thing is, they just showed a screenshot of him close up doing this. And we see the whole screen go black when he grabs it. We don't get to see exactly which one of those orbs he picked. Because even though they all looked the same, some had different shapes and some was different size. So, even though they were just brown material orbs. But after that, we get to see him go home, and he's super exhausted and tired. But he's like, I gotta make it. I gotta go back. And super exhausted and hurt, and I got this heavy uniform in my bag, but I gotta make it. And when he finally makes it back home at night, the door got kicked down from the inside, and we see his sister. And I'm like, oh no. She finally woke up, and I bet she's hungry. Unfortunately, that wasn't the issue. Luckily, she saw Tanjiro and she started to cry, and she walked up to him and she hugged him. And then he started to cry. And we see the teacher there, hopefully I'm pronouncing his name right, Udadaki, and he sees that Tanjiro is there, and he drops all the firewood that he's holding. He goes up and he hugs both the siblings. And he was like, look at, congratulations, you're back. And they start to talk, and he was like, I'm surprised you passed. And he was like, yeah, me too. And then Tanjiro's teacher was like, there's different ranks in demons, and the highest rank can use like this blood type magic, and they are the most difficult ones. So hopefully, you should do fine, but he was giving him a heads up just in case for the future references. And we get some nice dialogue, finding out that his sister, unlike any other demon, she's very unique. Even though we already knew that, but they clarify that, they never seen someone like her. And they clarify that the reason why she was sleeping in that coma was that's her recharge time. Instead of her eating other humans to gain strength and recover, she actually just falls asleep into a coma. So I guess that's the good thing. I mean, it's better than letting her go crazy and eat humans. So we still need more explanation on why, but it was nice to see that. Then we get this guy comes like 15 days later, and he drops off the sword. And when Tanjiro unsheaths the sword and he holds it, just the steel becomes black. And the guy was upset. He's like, I wanted to see bright red. And then he put him in Tanjiro in a headlock. And he's like, this is all your fault. You were supposed to be a lucky child, or did the blade turn black? And he was like, is this a bad thing? Is this bad luck? And the teacher was like, no, not exactly. But they left it at that. They didn't really explain much. And I was like, oh, boo. But then we get a crow that comes in. And I forgot to mention this. Everyone that passed doesn't just get to pick an orb for their swords. They also gain their uniforms, and they gain a communication crow. So we see Tanjiro's come in, and basically he had like the last dialogue for the episode, and he told Tanjiro, you're going to be given your first assignment today. You have to go to the northeast and find a demon that keeps taking young girls at night. He's been doing this lately. This is going to be your first mission, so go prepare yourself. We'll find him and capture him. And Tanjiro was like, yeah, my first mission. And that was the end of the episode. Again, really good episode. This was more of an emotional episode than it was the other ones. The other ones was more like action and funny moments. This one, even though it had its funny moments and some action, it was more story-based, and it was very emotional in certain parts. Like the brother and sister part, and then the sister and teacher part, a student and teacher part. The part with the young girl getting picked on with the guy with the scar and Tanjiro had to step in and stuff like that. And we get to see one of the two characters that's with Tanjiro in the opening, the kid with the blonde hair. He looks like he's a scaredy cat. He was even saying, I'm going to die soon if this keeps up. So he looks like he's fighting of everything. He could hardly be the Usopp of the series. For anyone who's read One Piece, but it's just my thought on it. But again, this was a good episode. I liked it. But comment down below what you liked and didn't like about the episode. If there's anything I missed or any names I pronounced wrong, let me know down below, because I'm not a manga reader, I'm an anime only. And I watch sub over dub, so. But like, comment, share, and subscribe. Share with your family and friends. Give this video a like. Follow me on Twitter. Link will be down below. But that's all I have for you guys. Peace out. Have a good one.